How to budget for life in Thailand. People ask me sometimes, how much do you think it costs to live in Thailand? And after living here for many, many years, for over 30 years, I think that is the wrong question, because your monthly expenses could be half of what mine are, or they could be double or triple or even more than mine. So I think that's the wrong question. And I think what is important is knowing your expenses and knowing every category of your expense before you settle in Thailand. You've got to know what you have to spend. You got to know your budget, and that's the way that it goes. Now, let me go over a few things here, because there's certain things that people just don't think about. Most people think about, well, how much is my rent? How much is my food? How much is electricity and stuff like that? They think about the very basics, but they don't think about everything. So let me go over a few things with you. The first is you've got to have rent or mortgage, or maybe you're lucky and you have a place, like we have a place down in Suratani. If I'm living in Suratani, I don't have to pay rent. There's no rent. The house is paid for, the land is paid for, everything's paid for, okay? But there are also deposits that you have to make. There are furnishings. There's going to be repairs. You're going to have to fix all that stuff. Or the landlord might be able to fix it, but you also have to pay for things like electric, water, internet, mobile phone. And these are the basics. This and say groceries and restaurants, going out to eat, coffee, tea, then imported products. I just count that in the grocery because I buy stuff that's imported and I buy stuff that is not imported. But also you have to consider transportation. Are you living in the city, in Bangkok, in Phuket, in Chiang Mai, in Pattaya? Where are you living? Do you have some kind of public transportation, or do you have your own transportation? Are you taking the BTS, the MRT? Are you taking the canal boat? Are you taking taxis? What are you taking? Are you taking motorcycles? You got to think about, if you have a car, you've got to have fuel. You might have to pay a car payment, and you're going to have to maintain that vehicle. You also have to have insurance. So that's another category, is transportation. Now, something that a lot of people, they think about, but they don't always figure it out in the budget, and that is immigration. You've got to pay your visa fees. You've got to pay for the extensions. You've got to pay any travel that you might need to take for renewals, like if you're on a DTV visa or something like that. If you have an agent, you're going to have to pay agent fees if you've got one. Another thing is the medical, routine medical, unexpected medical, hospitalization, prescriptions, health insurance. You've got to pay for health insurance, inpatient, outpatient, deductibles. If you're getting older, the premium is going to go up. And even if you're not getting older, the premium's going to tend to go up. You got to think about your dental care, cleanings, fillings, crowns, implants, emergencies. You're going to have to think about your eyes. My eyes are getting worse. I need glasses now all the time. You got to think about the exams, the glasses, the contacts, prescriptions, prescription changes for your glasses. And are you going to have anything done like LASIK or anything like that? You've got to think about these things. Another category, clothing. And some people think about it, some people don't. I think about it. Clothing for every day. You've got to have some things that you wear every day. I got stuff, I just throw it on, and then eventually it wears out. But you got to get shoes. You always have to have shoes. What do you have? You only got a pair of flip-flops? You need a little bit more than that. You got to think about anything you might have to replace that you really need. You also got to think about technological things like your phone. Do you need a phone upgrade? Do you need a phone here? Do you need to get your laptop replaced? Like, I'm going to need to get my laptop replaced pretty soon. Do you need accessories? Like, I had to buy a plug not long ago for my laptop. I had to buy a plug. They didn't have it at the Apple store because my laptop is 15 years old, 14 years old. You might have to pay for cloud storage, for software, for subscriptions to the software. Nowadays, they want you to subscribe every month, which I hate, and I don't do. Then you got to think about, hey, you got to have a little fun every once in a while. You got to be able to do things. You got to be able to go out once in a while. What about things like streaming? At our house, we want to be able to watch TV. We don't want to watch Thai TV, so we have Netflix. That's, for us, it's 349 baht. I think that's 2 or 3 different devices that you can watch it on. Also, what about gym? The gym membership. Do you use a free gym? Do you just run? What do? Do you go to the gym? You got to think about that. Hobbies. You have hobbies. How about books? Listen, I spend probably 500 to 1,000 baht on books every month. I buy 1 or 2 books every month. So that's something else to think about. Travel. Now, you may need to travel domestically. You may want to travel domestically. You may want to travel internationally. That all adds to the budget. I can't tell you how much all this stuff costs because obviously it varies. You're going to have to think about when you go somewhere, maybe you need to get a hotel. Maybe you're going because there's a family emergency. You're going to need to help the family out with a little bit of cash. So you got to think about that. Also, the financial things like credit cards, loans, taxes, bank fees. Bank fees, I got to pay a couple of bank fees. I don't have to pay for a couple of the accounts that I have, but I have to pay for, I think, 2 accounts. And then what about currency conversion? Sometimes you're making out like a bandit. Right now, it's almost 33 baht to the dollar. Quite good for recent times. But a while ago, it was 31.5. So you got to think about the currency conversion also. What about an emergency fund? What about major medical costs that you might have? What about if your family needs, you've got to pay for something for somebody in your family if you've got a family? What about vehicle repair? What about you've got to move? Listen, moving cost. If you've got a house, I'm not talking about you got one tiny little apartment and all you got to do is have a couple of bags. I've been living here a long time. We got a big house. It's full of stuff. We need like a U-Haul, like a big U-Haul to be able to move everything. That costs money. Then you got to pay the guys to move everything. That costs money. I'm telling you, that's at least 3,000 US dollars, something like that. You're talking about 100,000 baht. All right? So there's quite a few things that you have to think about when it comes to the budget that most people, they don't even think about it. They don't even consider this stuff. They just think, I'm here, I'm doing well, I got money coming in, I'm going to be okay. Now, some people, they got enough money where they're going to be okay no matter what. But some people, they really need to budget. And the biggest mistake that people really make isn't underestimating how much they're going to spend on food and rent and electricity and stuff like that. It's forgetting everything else. It's all the little things because everything adds up. And living in Thailand can be very, very affordable, but only if you really budget for the things that you don't think about until they hit your wallet. You've got to budget. You've got to pad your budget a little bit so that when something happens, you got the money. And the thing about Thailand that's great is you can live here on a little or you can live here on a lot. You just have to be able to cover your expenses, whatever they may be. You may want to live on the dirt cheap, and you can live here for $700-800 if you're living out in the country and you already got a house. You can live very well. You might not have to pay any bills and you don't want to go anywhere, so you can live on the lower end. Or you might want to live it up and you might want to spend $15,000-20,000 a month. It's possible. Anyway, I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chokdi LCTRfan. That is good luck and see you again. And hey, if you like the channel, please click like, please subscribe. Look down below in the description. There's a host of ways that you can help. You can help the channel. I'd appreciate it. Until next time, I'll see you later.